for the introduction, and thanks to Akinchan Bhakt Prabhuji for the opportunity. Although, yeah, what to be said? I was begging actually few devotees, please, the senior devotees, please come and give the third session because I think I'm not qualified yet. But everyone was like, no, you should give. So I think this is directly from Nityanand Prabhu, uh, that he wants me to speak on him, or maybe it's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants me to glorify his brother Nityanand Prabhu, something like that. So, so I won't hesitate to do so because that will be purifying, at least for me, because I'm not such a good speaker. Uh, so I don't know if you will relish it or not, or if you will gain something or not. But at least it will be purifying for me. And yeah, what else? So, Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandau Sahoditau Gaudodaya Pushpavantau Chitrau Shandau Tamonodau Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Again, would like to welcome all the dear devotees in this session today. So, as Prabhuji was mentioning, and you all have been hearing also, so on day one, uh, His Holiness Sundar Chaitanya Maharaj, he offered his ahuti in this Nityananda Shravana Yajna, so to say. Then yesterday, Akinchan Bhakta Prabhu offered his ahuti, Swaha, and today is the Purna Ahuti. And then tomorrow will be the birthday celebrations. So, Rupanuga Vidyapeeth, um, and not just Rupanuga Vidyapeeth, but the devotees all over the world, uh, at least, and not only ISKCON, but also other Gaudiya Vaishnava branches like Gaudiya Maths and all. So all of us, we are a big family tree with different branches. Um, so we are very favored by Nityanand Prabhu because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let's say 100 devotees, then Nityananda Prabhu made a 10,000 devotees. This is the ratio. If Mahaprabhu made 100 devotees, then Nityanand Prabhu made a 10,000 devotees. So that's the ratio, and that's how we can imagine that we are directly the Kripa Patra of not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are directly the Kripa Patra in Parampara, of course, of Nityanand Prabhu. We'll be reading actually, we'll be hearing and reading how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Nityanand Prabhu that, O Nitai, "Oh Nityanand Gosai," he would address Nityanand Mahaprabhu as Nitai Gosai, as Gosai with the Sambodhana. That, "Oh Gosai, because I have taken sannyas, so there are few restrictions for me. But I order you that you preach wholeheartedly and deliver the people, the jivas, the conditioned souls everywhere. And you preach even more than me," Mahaprabhu instructed him. And Nityanand Prabhu duly accepted the instructions, um, as he has been doing in the previous lifetimes also. In Lakshmana, while he was Lakshmana, while he was Balram, everywhere he was so obedient to Sri Krishna, to Sri Ram, and now to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nityanand Prabhu never compromised his service, his mood, his dedication, his Sharanagati towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rather, if I don't know how many of you are from the commerce background, like in commerce, like in economics, there is a concept of utility principle. So increasing marginal utility, diminishing marginal utility. How many of you know this? Anyhow. So basically, the point is, with the consumption, let's say if you're hungry, and then prasadam is served to you. So you eat one chapati. The first chapati you eat, let's say you get 10 points of satisfaction, right? 10 points of satisfaction. Point level is 10 by eating the first chapati. Then when you are eating second chapati, then because now you're somewhat satisfied, so the utility point goes down. So by the second chapati, let's say you will get some utility points of 6 points. And let's say by eating third chapati, you will get utility points of 2. Now you're full. And now if you eat the fourth chapati, then that's like the minus. It will go in minus because you are now full. So that's called the diminishing utility, which goes down. But in bhakti and in the spiritual realm, uh, we have the concept of increasing utility. Every spiritual object we consume increases further the appetite and thus the utility. For example, when we chant, when we take darshans of the Lord, when we hear, do shravana, ityadi, ityadi, when we serve devotees. So the ideal situation is that our appetite to hear more, to chant more, to serve more, it increases, right? It doesn't diminish. So that's the increasing utility. So for the material objects, it's diminishing, it goes down, and for the spiritual objects, it goes upwards. So similarly, Nityananda Prabhu, um, his mood and his dedication always increased towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and towards the Sankirtan movement. In fact, we hear from the Shastras that there are two fathers of this Sankirtan movement. Generally, father is only one. When we say father, father, so every child has got only one father, right? One father and a mother. That's the pair. But for the Sankirtan movement, we don't have any mother, so to say. We have a pair of two fathers, Sankirtanaika Pitarau. That's very interesting. So, and that's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So we don't have any mother, so to say. We have two fathers. So we are sons of two fathers, Gaur Nitai. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, he introduced the deity worship of both Gaur Nitai together. I mean, before Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he would establish Radha Krishna along with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deities everywhere. But Srila Prabhupada was the one who initiated the worship of God Nitai, Nitai Chaitanya, Chaitanya Nitai, everywhere. And now if you see in ISKCON, maybe if we have 100 pairs of Radha Krishna around the world, we'll have 1,000 pairs of Gaur Nitai, even at home or at temple. Okay, just a second, just a second. I'll be back. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada did that, and he purposefully initiated the installation of Nityanand Prabhu as well as with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deities, because if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna, Namo Mahavadanyaya, as we chant, then Nityanand Prabhu is even more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can even say Namo Mahavadanyaya, Mahavadanyaya for Nityanand Prabhu. So that's the beauty of Nityanand Prabhu. And I was comparing Balram's nature with Nityanand Prabhu's nature. Uh, the nature of both the personalities, although they are one, so the natures of both the personalities, that's also one in one sense, and it's also different. Let's talk how. Lord Balram used to become very angry, very fast. I mean, he told Krishna when Mahabharata was to begin that I won't fight, I won't fight. I'll remain indifferent and I'll go to pilgrim, for pilgrimage. And the moment he went for pilgrimage, what was the first act he did? He killed the father of Suta Goswami, Romaharshan. And Krishna says to Arjuna in Gita that no one can overcome his nature. And Balram exemplified that. So he used to become very angry, but Nityanand Prabhu, on the contrary, Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, as we hear. That Nityananda Prabhu doesn't become angry at all. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Akrodha. He doesn't entertain any anger within himself. Even when he had that uh, argument, not argument, with Jagaya and Madhai, the scene happened. He was hit, the blood oozed out. Still, Nityanand Prabhu was begging, please chant Hari, please chant Hari, please chant Hari. Imagine Lord Balram there in place of Nityanand Prabhu. What would have happened to both Jagai and Madhai? So that was difference in nature between Balaram and Nityanand Prabhu. And the similarity is Lord Balram was Swachhand, in his execution, in his activities. He was Swachhand. He was not bound by anyone, not even by Krishna, because anyhow, Krishna was younger than him in that Lila. So Lord Balram used to do whatever he wanted to do. Similarly, if we study Nityanand Prabhu's Charitra, which we will be studying and we have been studying, Nityanand Prabhu's nature is also Swachhanda. I mean, imagine him, Nityanand Prabhu. He's such a grown personality, I mean, bodily speaking. And he would go and he would drink the breast milk of the wife of Shiva's Acharya, right? and what not, what not. He would behave like a child in front of Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita Acharya, like a baby. He would cry, he would laugh, and so on. So his nature is he would climb up the trees, he would shake trees, he would uproot the trees while he would roar like a lion while doing Sankirtan. He would become fully mad, fully mad. He would sometimes fall like a stick, and so hard that everyone would think that now he's gone. Now this Nitai must be having so many fractures throughout the bones in his body. So that's one of the similarities which I noticed between Lord Balrama's nature and Nityanand Prabhu's nature, that uh, they are swachhand in their behavior and they don't really mind what people may think of them. They don't really mind what people may think of them. Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still, they think twice. Because anyhow, this is Krishna's principle, na? Yad yad acharati shreshtas tatta devita rochana. Krishna goes with this siddhanta. But Nitai, No Siddhanta. Balram, no Siddhanta. They act. Lord Balram didn't think twice before killing Romaharshan that if I kill Romaharshan, the Brahmana, then people will follow me. No, he directly killed him. But Krishna would be very thoughtful before, he would be very grave before he did anything. Similarly, if we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually himself, he instructed, Sannyasira Alpachidra, Sarva Loke Gaya, that even if there is a little flaw, some fault in a sannyasi, then everyone will sing about that. I mean, not on a positive side, but blaspheme the sannyasi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be very careful about that. But you see, Nitai didn't care much about what people will think. You care what you care. We'll be actually hearing one story that how uh, a classmate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from the younger days, childhood days, a Brahmana actually from Navadvip, how he was very faithful to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he couldn't digest the nature and the behavior of Nityananda Prabhu. So he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, and he humbly asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, "Oh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I believe in you. I have a great devotion towards you, and I follow you. But that Nitai, I'm not able to understand what kind of personality is he. He looks like a Sahajiya to me. Something to that extent. He behaves very awkward. His uh, although being a sannyasi or a great devotee, which others claim about him, I don't see any such symptom within him. I don't see him following the varna ashrama duties, the dharma, and his, you know, it's just like when Gadadhar Pandit saw Pundrik Vidyanidhi, if you know that story. So Pundrik Vidyanidhi was all sitting on a fully ornamented asana, like a king, eating betel nuts, the pan, chewing, and everything, all opulence. And Gadadhar Pandit was struck with the thought that is he even like a Kanishta Adhikari? What to speak of like a highly advanced devotee? And then gradually he came to know about the high stage of Pundrik Vidyanidhi. Similarly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was expressed by that Brahmana, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually instructed that how Nityanand Prabhu, is not an ordinary person, and he's the supreme personality of Godhead also. How? So we'll be studying that ahead. Very nice. So I was thinking, how do I move, with the class or with this discussion? So I thought that I'll share the PDF with all of you, the screen here, and we'll do like a mix up of reading and discussion because then we'll be able to cover a lot more pastimes of Nityanand Prabhu. So I'll share my screen in a short while, and we'll be studying from Nityananda Charitamrita, which is composed by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur is the same personality who composed which Grantha? Chaitanya Mangal? Chaitanya Charitamrit? No, it's
Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Chaitanya Bhagavat. Jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat. So, so Vrindavan Das Thakur is not different from Vyasadeva himself. He's the incarnation of Vyasadeva. So when he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, uh, see, devotion is such, the increasing marginal utility I was mentioning about. He wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat, but still he was like, I want to do more, glorify more. Then he wrote Nityananda Charitamrita, glorifying Nityanand Prabhu separately, like topics pertaining to him only. So, so we'll be studying from that, hearing from that, and yeah, what else? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhu bole shunaha shakala bhakta gana Nityananda padodaka karaha grahan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, listen, my dear devotees, all of you, drink the water that has washed Nityanand's lotus feet. And Korilehi matra ei pado the kapan, Krishna drida bhakta hoy, ithe nahi an. And whoever drinks that nectar of the lotus feet of Nityanand Prabhu, he will attain unflinching devotion to Sri Krishna, and there's no doubt about it. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Okay, so let me share my screen. So this is the Antya Khanda of Nityananda Charitamrita. You have heard Adi Khanda and Madhya Khanda from the previous two esteemed speakers, and now we'll try to listen to or study from the Antya Khanda and do the Puna Ahuti. Although, although tomorrow is the advent of Nityananda Prabhu, he appeared himself. But in today's session, by the end, we are supposed to uh, let Nityanand Prabhu, disappear. So before his appearance, we'll celebrate the disappearance of Nityanand Prabhu today. Quite ironical. So we'll listen a few pastimes of Nityanand Prabhu here, and towards the end, we'll listen how Nityanand Prabhu he had like married two wives, and he got his son called Veerachandra Goswami, and then he uh, wrapped up, he completed his pastimes, the Prakat Lila on this planet Earth. Jiva Goswami, in his Sandarbhas, he explains um, Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam, in that verse, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared in this Kali Yuga, is Swayam Bhagwan Shri Krishna. He's not like not the normal avatars, the incarnations. No, he's direct Swayam Bhagavan. And Shri Krishna, who appeared in this recent Dwapar Yuga, the last Dwapar Yuga, he's also Swayam Bhagavan. Now, Jiva Goswami mentions there that generally Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna doesn't appear himself, doesn't incarnate by himself. He sends his, angas, like mm, his representatives and all. He doesn't come by himself. But when he comes himself in Dwapar Yuga, then the same Kali Yuga he appears once more as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Kali Yuga is very special because Sri Krishna himself appeared twice. And this situation arises only once in a day of Brahma. That's called a kalpa. And a kalpa means 1,000 Chaturyugas spent. 71, 14 Manus, and which means one Manu has reigns over like 71 Chaturyugas, so 1,000 Chaturyugas. So how fortunate we are that Sri Krishna himself came twice. Now, if Sri Krishna himself came twice, means that his associates, his direct parshads also came twice. It's not just the Lord himself, it's the whole paraphernalia, the whole set of devotees, direct devotees, the Rasik devotees, and everyone in different rasas and in different mellows. So Lord Balram and all, Nanda Yashoda, Ityadi, Ityadi, and in Chaitanya Lila, Nityanand Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, Ityadi, Ityadi. They are all direct parshads. Uh, and this is my assumption. We'll have to cross-check it. That just like Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're Swayam Bhagwan. So they are also Swayam, let's say, Parshad, direct uh, associates of the Lord. And they also appear once in a kalpa of Brahmaji, in a day of Brahmaji. That's my assumption for the Parshad. I'll have to cross-check that for the associates, the direct associates of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada, he writes that there are actually two lords. One is Shri Krishna or Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Savior Bhagwan, the worshipped Lord. And the second is the Balram or Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who is called the servant God, the Sevak Bhagwan. We have the Savior Bhagwan and the Sevak Bhagwan. The served, the Lord who is served, who accepts the service, and Nityanand Prabhu or Balram is the Sevak Bhagwan, the servant Lord. This is quite ironical because in this material world, we can't really expect a boss to be serving his juniors. Let's say something like a servant boss. Do we have such concept? No. Like a servant boss? No. If he's a boss, then boss means he will rule over everyone. But Nityanand Prabhu, Lord Balram, they are Sevak Bhagwan. Uh, and they're not just Sevaks of Sri Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only, but they also have the same attitude for those who are very deeply connected with their lords. Just like if someone is very much connected to Sri Krishna, so Balram has the same feeling, for that person also. Similarly, Nityanand Prabhu is very much uh, subjugated to a person who is very dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why when I joined ISKCON, like initially in Gurukul days and everything, so I would hear often that uh, we should celebrate the appearance days, especially let's say Janmashtami, Radha Ashtami, Gaur Purnima, this Nityananda Triyochi, etc., not to please that specific person, whose appearance is there. No. For example, if let's say Janmashtami is there, so we shouldn't celebrate Janmashtami to please Krishna. No, we should celebrate Janmashtami very jubilantly. Why? Because Radharani will be very much pleased. And we should celebrate Radhastami with great awe and reverence and all those things. Because Krishna will be pleased. Similarly, we will be celebrating Nityananda Chaturdashi tomorrow for the pleasure of Gaur Sundar. So actually, in a way, we can also say that we'll get the result of Gaur Purnima tomorrow, and we'll get the result of Nityanand Triyochi on Gaur Purnima. Because Gauranga Mahaprabhu will becomes very much pleased when he sees Nitai getting worshipped. Similarly, Nityanand Prabhu becomes pleased when he sees devotees worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the mutual love they have. Paraspara Nuti Priyo. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is Nityananda Charitamrita, Antya Khanda, and there are some 13, 14 chapters. We'll see how many we can relish and rejoice. So, so this is Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga meeting with the residents of Navadvip, of Navadvip. Hmm. Okay, so we'll do some reading and we'll discuss. On an auspicious day, Lord Gauranga, along with all his devotees, happily departed for Nilachala. Nilachala is Jagannath Puri. Then the Lord said, "Listen, magnanimous Nityananda, go at once to Navadvip. Try to relieve the distress of all the devotees headed by Srivas Pandit. Tell everyone in Navadvip that I am going to Nilachala to see the Lord, to Lord Jagannath. On the way to Nilachala, I will visit the house of Advaita Acharya in Shantipur, and I'll wait there for all of you. Immediately gather the devotees and bring them to Shantipur. In the meantime, I'll visit Fulia, which is the place of Haridas Thakur." There is one more thought, like to it. I was discussing it with another devotee today. Never ever in the history um, of humanity, let's say, there was a path, a spiritual path, where we can achieve the highest perfection just by this simple process of congregational chanting, congregational uh, activities, like taking prasadam together, doing katha together, doing kirtan together. Because otherwise, the normal trend is that if you want to be perfected spiritually, then you'll have to take a samadhi. You'll have to go to a solitary place. You'll have to sit, focus your mind, and all those things, which is also nice. It's not that it's a bogus thing. No, that's also fine, an authentic way. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he initiated and authenticized this practice of congregational spiritual activities. I mean, just imagine if you all read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad, and the stories of Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we hear that how they would have a lot of fun practicing spirituality, right? And they would crack jokes. They would have a lot of fun. They would eat, uh, and they would eat their favorite foods also. It's not just about sense control, sense control. It's also they're also gratifying their senses, of course, spiritually. They're doing kirtan. They're dancing like mad elephants. They're roaring like tigers, and whatnot. And whenever they would meet each other, like let's say Advaita Acharya meeting Nityanand Prabhu or Nityanand Prabhu meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the description is so vivid. They wouldn't just, meet and say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Not just like a formal thing. No, the meetup was so grand. They would embrace each other. They would not just embrace, they would fall down while embracing, and they would start rolling. Just imagine, just imagine Nityanand Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, when they met each other in Shantipur, they embraced each other and they're crying. And now they have fallen down on the floor, and now they're rolling. And okay, not only that, while they are crying, they have embraced each other and they're rolling. Then they are also trying to touch the feet of each other while doing all these things. And then after, doing this act for quite a long time, then they sit talking to each other, crying in front of each other, chanting the names of Lord Hari. So such it's just like when anyone enters into Goloka, Shri Krishna himself, welcomes the jivas, just like he welcomed Gop Kumar, as we studied. He embraces the jiva. Both the jiva and Shri Krishna, they cry for each other while welcoming each other, while greeting each other. It's not just like a formal thing. Oh, okay, Hare Krishna, Namaste, Namaste. No. So, yeah. So what do we say? Sometimes, so on the order of Lord, the most powerful Nityananda happily started for Navadvipa. He was fully drunk with the transcendental mellows of love of God. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, Nityananda Prabhu constantly roared like a drunken lion. His pastimes are beyond all rules and regulations. So there are no rules and regulations which Nityananda Prabhu follows. No, nothing. He doesn't follow anything. Sometimes he climbed on a kadamba tree, and sometimes he played a flute standing in threefold bending form like Krishna. Sometimes he rolled in the pastures, at the agriculture fields, and drank milk from a cow just like a calf. He danced the entire path out of his own sweet will. He merged so deep in the ocean of bliss that he totally forgot himself. So imagine Nityananda Prabhu, he's coming back to Navadvipa and he's all by himself. He's not worried about what others are thinking about him. Why shall he? Why shall he? has got no reason to be worried by others, right? Anyhow, I mean, if we see philosophically from the Tattva point of view, all of the creation, we, the Jiva, and everything, we are we have come forth from Nityanand Prabhu only, from Balram. So we are, his part and parcel in a way. So, in a sense, we're nothing in front of him, and we're just part of him. So he's not embarrassed. He's not embarrassed. Sometimes he would sit down on the road and cry. Hearing his cry melted the hearts of the people. He would often laugh loudly and sometimes take off his cloth and tie it on his head. And sometimes, in his mood of Ananta, he floated enchantingly on the waves of Ganga like a snake. The glories of Nityananda Prabhu are inconceivable and unfathomable. So it describes that how when Nityananda Prabhu he used to dance, so the earth would tremble. The earth would tremble. And the reason is, one reason is given that Nityanand Prabhu is is Anantashesh himself, right? And Anantashesh, he carries Mother Earth on one of his hood. So when Anantashesh will dance, so of course Mother Earth is going to, shake. So that's why when Nityanand Prabhu would dance, because Earth is situated on the hood, so Earth would also tremble. So that's one of the reason why Earth would tremble or shake like an earthquake coming up when Nityanand Prabhu would dance. Okay. So in this way, he reached the bathing ghats of Navadvip. Now, Nityanand Prabhu went to the home of Lord Gauranga in Navadvip. He found that Mother Shachi had been fasting for 12 days. Why? Because the news had arrived that Nimai is going to take sannyas. And just by hearing the news, Mother Shachi Mata, was in a shock, like she in a shock, like a deep shock. And she thought that if Nimai will take sannyas, so a sannyasi ideally is not allowed um, to meet his parents anymore. So Shachi Mata thought, then what will be the use of this body then? So she started fasting, and 12 days were gone since she was fasting. And she survived simply by the mercy of Krishna. She didn't eat anything. Everyone in Navadvip was so worried about Shachi Mata that this lady, Shachi Mata, the mother of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, will leave her body in this way. So they all actually wanted to speak to Nimai, that, oh Nimai, please take care of your mother also. But no one dared to. Because, I mean, we all have experience. Sometimes we also want to speak to, let's say, our Gurudevs or our seniors, counselors, like a suggestion or something. But most of the times we don't dare to, for many reasons. Similarly, the Navadvip Vasis, they wanted to speak to Nimai, but they didn't dare to. Yeah. So anyhow, Shachi Mata didn't eat anything, but she still survived. That's actually a magic, a miracle, because without eating, who can survive? Annat bhavanti bhutani. We all become, or we all are what we eat. We survive because of the food. We are so conditioned that without food we can't survive. So Shachi Mata actually exemplifies, demonstrates that how she is not a conditioned soul. She is spiritually surcharged uh, soul, mother of Gauranga Mahaprabhu directly. Uh, One devotee was putting it very nicely, a very nice thought. See, everything in this world is a creation of the Lord. So the food also which we eat is also the creation of the Lord. And now the energy which we get from the food is also the energy which is coming from the Lord also, right? Now the Lord who is supplying energy to us via food, can't he supply the same energy without food? You see? So he is the source of that energy, whether it comes from the food or whether he may supply it directly within us. That's why we see yogis, we see munis, we see great devotees. They would barely eat anything, but they still survived because the energy was directly coming from the Lord. So this is the reason. Because Sri Krishna is himself delivering that energy in any forms. So Shachi Mata actually demonstrated that. So, but the devotees they were very much worried. And when Nityanand Prabhu came, he also got worried. And now he wanted to speak to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that why are you letting your mother suffer because of you? Oh, selfish person. So Mother Shachi was overwhelmed in the mood of Yashoda. Now, Mother Shachi, like when we get to fast for Pandav Nirjala Ekachi, let's say, which comes in June, July. Oh, okay. All of us, we have a great experience, especially in our initial days, in years of joining ISKCON or joining Bhakti. When we try to fast for the whole day, uh, we are unflinchingly, undeviatingly thinking of prasadam only. No other thought, no other thought, no other thought. Prasadameva, prasadameva, prasadameva kevalam. It was in 2008 or 9, like my first year in ISKCON. I was 12, 13 years old, a child only. So, so the next day was Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi, and the devotees told us, okay, tomorrow is Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi, so you have to fast. We were like, okay, we'll fast. We'll eat chips, Ekachi things, fruits, this, that. They told, no, no, Nirjala Ekachi, Nirjala. You don't have to even take a sip of water and no food for sure. Nothing. Empty stomach. Now we got into depression. Personally, I was like, whoa, how can I do this? Um, Now what we did, so let's say tomorrow is Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. So we are three brothers. So we planned, okay, we'll try to keep the vrata, we'll try to, keep the vow tomorrow. But we'll try to fill the belly today. So we arranged for some samosas or something. Um, and we brought it and kept it in the evening, and we put an alarm of around 11:30 p.m. in the night that will wake up and will eat, and then it will help us fast the whole day tomorrow, the next day. And we did the same, and I don't remember if we completed the fast or not. I'm in the Nirjala. Anyhow, so so this is our condition. All of you also will be having some of your story to tell about your first Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi, your consciousness and the prasadam and everything. But Shachi Mata, on the other hand, she was not thinking of prasadam. She was a Nitya Siddha Bhakta. She was the direct associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Um, she was rather overwhelmed in the mood of Yashoda. She was in the mood of Yashoda. And tears of love continuously flowed from her eyes. She's Yashoda herself. So now she has gained, or again she's like reliving in that mood of Mother Yashoda, and she's crying profusely. And now she's asking everyone, "Are you from Mathura? Are you from Mathura?" Because she never went to Mathura to look for Krishna Balram. And now Krishna and Balram, they have left Vrindavan for Mathura. So she's asking everyone, "Are you from Mathura? Tell me, how are Krishna and Balram? Tell me, tell me." So, saying this, she would fall senseless to the ground. Sometimes Mother Shachi said, I can hear a horn, a sound. Maybe a Krur has come again in the pastures. So, Mother Shachi, in complete trance, she was forever merged in the ocean of separation from Krishna. So, I mean, the situation is Mother Yashoda was in separation from Krishna. Similarly, Mother Shachi is in separation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's the same mood uh, between Mother Shachi's pastime and Mother Yashoda's pastime. So now, when the same mood has like arisen in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila, so she has gone back into that mood of Yashoda Mata. So being Shachi Mata, she's considering herself Mother Yashoda, and she's asking everyone that where is Krishna Balram? Are they fine? What are they doing? Ityadi, ityadi. So when Nityanand Prabhu saw Shachi Mata in such a state, uh, he, although Nityanand Prabhu also is a direct associate, he's Lord himself, he knows everything, but still outwardly, he was also quite worried about the mother because she didn't eat anything since days, since days. So Nityanand Prabhu offered obeisances to her, and then when everyone saw Lord Nityananda, everyone started to chant Hari, Hari, and all began to cry. All began to cry. They were all crying because Nimai is going to take sannyas. They were all crying uh, because Shachi Mata was doing that severe austerity of not eating. She was always in that mood of separation from the Lord, from her son, and they were all crying because of the ecstasy that was arising within all of them because of chanting Lord's Hari name and seeing Lord Nityananda in front of them, seeing Lord Nityananda in front of them. Few years back, some of you must be knowing this. In Mayapur, the Panchatattvas are there in ISKCON campus. So I think Param Pujya Jayapataka Maharaj was doing Kirtan, and maybe Nityanand Prabhu or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, someone, either of them. So it was highlighted that one of them was crying, and the tear was rolling down. I don't remember. I don't know. I mean, if you know that or not. So that happened maybe 6, 7, 8 years back in Mayapur. So while Jayapataka Maharaj was doing Kirtan, so either Gauranga Mahaprabhu or Nityanand Prabhu, so there was a tear rolling down the cheek, and it was very visible. Everyone could see that from the DT. And all the devotees, they became so ecstatic. Just imagine your home deities crying, expressing themselves like living uh, Bhagwan. So the point is, when we get small indications by our deities, we become so ecstatic. We feel such a connection. We cry and we rejoice. Imagine the Lord standing in front personally. What would be the situation of the devotees? Uh, they are sure to cry, and not just cry. They would laugh. They would cry. They would jump. They would die. They would they would fight. They would mingle like anything. So Mother Shachi swooned on the ground saying, "Oh dear father, oh dear father." So no one knew who fell or on which side he fell. Nityanand picked everyone up and embraced them. So in this way, everyone, they were running here and there. They all fell down, embracing each other. They all became mad. They all became mad. So bathing everyone in his tears of love, he told everyone the auspicious news of Lord Gauranga's journey to Shantipur. He cried, "All of you quickly go and see Lord Gauranga. The Lord has gone to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. I came here to take you all there." So, in separation from Sri Gauranga, all the devotees had become morose and skinny, but the words of Nityanand Prabhu fully enlivened them. It was just like Lord Krishna, he had left Vrindavan, but Krishna sent Balram. And then the Vrajvasis got some ray of hope. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu to send some ray of hope. So overwhelmed with ecstasy, they began to happily glorify Krishna. Anyhow, so now one thing is pending, Shachi Mata's food thing. She hasn't eaten. So then Nityanand Prabhu spoke to Shachi Mata saying that, oh mother, uh, that here that there is no mystery of Krishna that you do not know. You know everything. Please do not lament. Be happy. Be happy about what Nimai is doing or is gonna do. Right? He has got his spiritual responsibilities also. So let him fulfill that. And oh mother, please go and quickly cook for Krishna. Let all the devotees honor the Lord's remnants and be happy. Everyone hankers to relish the food cooked by you. If you fast, then Lord Krishna will fast. Quickly cook various palatable offerings for Krishna. I too have a great desire to eat food cooked by you. So in this way, solaced by Nityanand Prabhu, Mother Shachi, she forgot her separation. Because if you see, Balram is also son of Mother Yashoda, right? In a way, if not real son, but nothing less than that also. So Balram is solacing Mother Yashoda. Nityanand is giving that solace to Mother Shachi. So Mother Shachi, somewhat, she was like satisfied, pacified, and then she quickly went off to cook. And then she cooked. She offered to the Lord and to all the devotees, to Nityanand Prabhu. All of them had a great, you know, day honoring prasadam cooked by Shachi Mata. And after that, she herself broke her fast by eating the prasad, the remnants. And all the devotees of Navadvipa became very happy when Shachi Mata ate. So, so it's like Nityanand Prabhu became the troubleshooter that day. You know, we say troubleshooter because no one else could crack in Shachi Mata's mood of separation. It was only Nityanand Prabhu who could do that. So, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also knew that it's not everyone's job. Not everyone is qualified to satisfy, to pacify Shachi Mata. So he purposefully sent Nityanand Prabhu. Just like Krishna also would send Balram or he would send Uddhav because he knew they're qualified. So everyone became so happy when Shachi Mata honored Prasadam. Yeah, they were so happy. We also become happy when others take prasadam, especially if we have taken prasadam first. So in this way, all the devotees uh, they moved towards Shantipur, chanting the Lord's Hari name, the Lord's name, and someone, while on the way they were chanting, so someone fell on someone and someone caught hold of another. Someone held another's feet on his chest. Nityanand Prabhu, the abode of great effulgence, danced exuberantly around the Lord. Advaita Acharya danced and shouted loudly in ecstasy. Everyone tried to grab each other's feet. So such was the chanting of Nityanand Prabhu and the group, all the devotees. And in this way, that was the meetup of the Lord Nityanand Prabhu uh, and the devotees of Navadvip and Shachi Mata. So, I mean, just one pastime, and if we can just think deeply about it, meditate on it, it's so rejoicing, so so profound. People in general, like especially the non-devotees, and those who are into the Vedantic study of the scriptures, they tell or they claim that Bhagavad Gita is a Shushk Shastra or a Shishu Shastra, meaning that Bhagavad Gita is for the babies. on the spiritual path, or it's a very dry subject. It's not that they're right, they are wrong, but they think so. Okay, let's say we accept the fact that Bhagavad Gita is for babies, for the newcomers, or it's a very dry philosophical subject. Some even say for Bhagavatam that it's not, mm, like fully a rasic grantha, a grantha full of mellow, juicy grantha. No. Some people can also say that, although we do not accept it, but let's assume that they're right. But no one can ever claim Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes to be devoid of any rasa. There is rasa at every step in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, in the scriptures, granthas written on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. One thing which I personally am, struck with in Mahaprabhu's Lila is the relationship between devotees. It's very profound, very deep devotee relationship. If we see in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, every time two devotees would meet each other, they would be so uh, how to say atmiya. They would be so personal in their talks, in their dealings. It was not artificial, not duplicity. So we should also uh, try to develop that mood, studying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Nityanand Prabhu's pastimes. Although Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrit that there are also classifications of devotees. Some are like new, some are like Madhyam Adhikari, some are Uttam Adhikari, and he says we should associate with Uttam Adhikari. But doesn't mean that we become formal altogether and we forget that personal relationships with the devotees. So we should all endure in that direction. Uh, so we should start. We can start with the devotees who are like-minded, or who are senior to us. You know. So anyhow, okay. So that was one pastime when Lord Nityanand met the devotees in Shachimata, and the whole pastime happened. Next is that how Nityanand Prabhu he broke the sannyas danda of Lord Gauranga, who has become Sri Krishna Chaitanya as a sannyasi. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Okay. So now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed for Jagannath Puri, after all the devotees met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shantipur, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started for Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, and then he stopped at one place, the bank of the river Suvarna Rekha, and there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was accompanied by the devotee called Jagadananda, right? Now what happened? So at one place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has taken sannyas and who was going towards Nilachala, so he stopped at this river and he wanted to take a bath. So he handed over his danda, the sannyas danda, to Jagadananda, and mentioned that I'll be coming after I take sannyas and sorry, I take bath and you be here. Okay. So now what happened? He, Jagadananda, he gave the sannyas danda to Nityananda Sarup, to Nityanand Prabhu, saying that please keep the Lord's danda very carefully. So it was not directly given by Mahaprabhu to Nityanand Prabhu. It was given to Jagadananda, then who gave it to, handed over to Nityananda Prabhu. So now Nityananda Prabhu was mentioned that please keep this danda I'll be going to beg alms to do madhukari, as we say in Vrindavan, and I will be here soon. So Nityanand Prabhu took hold of the danda, and when he took the danda with him, so generally when we take danda of, let's say, some sannyasi, some guru, someone, we become very happy, and some of us also feel, start thinking, okay, maybe in future I may also become a sannyasi and I may have my own danda. We start fascinating about that. But when Nityanand Prabhu took the danda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became agitated. Why? He spoke to Danda that, oh Danda, it's wrong that he that I carry in my heart is carrying you. Meaning, he's agitated because Nityanand Prabhu is saying his thought is that he who is within his heart. So Nityanand Prabhu is carrying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every time within his heart. And he is carrying you all the times after his sannyas. And I do not agree with that. This is not fine. This is not correct thing. So what he did, saying this, the most powerful Nityanand Balaram broke the danda into three pieces and threw them away. In a river, it is mentioned. So Nityanand Prabhu broke the sannyas danda into three pieces. Just imagine uh, how much angry or agitated Nitai was that he did three pieces. Let's say, uh, if I have this pen, within my hand, and I'm a bit angry with this pen because maybe this is not working. So I'll break it into two and I'll throw off. But Nityanand Prabhu was so angry that even after breaking it into two, he was not satisfied. He broke further into three pieces. So, and then he he even like didn't keep that. He threw the pieces of danda. Quite a risky and challenging thing which Nityanand Prabhu did. That's why he's swachhanda in his behavior, like Lord Balaram. No other person can do this, especially with the danda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you imagine breaking the danda of, let's say, your guru? You will be thrown out. Will be thrown out of his con. Will be banned permanently from his con. Maybe Krishna will also ban us because we may displease his dear devotee. But here we see Nityanand Prabhu breaking sannyas danda of only the Supreme Lord knows his own desires. How am I to know the why Nityanand Prabhu broke the danda? This is with Vrindavan Das Thakur writing. How am I supposed to be knowing why he broke the danda? So Nityanand Prabhu knows the internal mood of Gaurachandra, and Sri Gaurachandra knows the heart of Nityananda. So some devotees say, I've been hearing this, that it was to exhibit that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not defined or is not confined by the limits of Varnashrama. So just to exemplify that, to demonstrate that the danda was broken, or Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda. Because if Mahaprabhu had the danda on with him, acting like a full-on sannyasi, then sannyasi is also a part of Varna ashram, right? So Varna. But Nityanand Prabhu wanted to show that he is beyond the limits of Varna ashrama dharma, and that's true. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is the initiator of Varna ashrama dharma. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? For Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashah. So Krishna himself says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, that it is me from whom this Varna Ashrama Dharma has begun. I have initiated this. And I'm not lipta, I'm not anointed or by Varna Ashrama Dharma. It's not for me, it's for the conditioned souls. So that was the main point which I've heard. Why Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas danda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That he's beyond the limits of Varna Ashrama. Varna Ashrama. They are just like two brothers, Shri Ram and Lakshmana. Both of them know. Okay. So both of them know each other's heart to teach devotional service. Okay, at this point, both of them know each other's heart. In Krishna Lila, many times it would happen. Krishna is a very great personality, accepted. He's also very mischievous and he has got a very unique way of communication. Krishna would not only communicate through his mouth, he would also communicate most of the times through his eyes, especially with gopis, with his brothers, brother with his sakhas, whenever, especially when he would return from Gocharan or when he would be going to Gocharan. So all the gopis, the cowherd girls, they would be standing on the verandas, on the terraces, on the roofs. And Krishna, just by that side glance, by casting that side glance, he would convey uh, very intimate message. And the gopis also would understand that, okay, what Krishna is saying. It's not just like a one-way communication. They would also understand that language of communication. Similarly, he had a way of communicating with cows, with friends, and even with Balaram. So such communication happens when the two persons they know each other very deeply, right? It also happens between, let's say, a husband and a wife in a house, right? All of those who are married. Or it happens between brothers, sisters, the siblings, between close friends. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, they're two brothers. They're actually one, and also two brothers, and they are more deeper than anything. Like they know each other very well. Like Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, Rupa Goswami knows the Manobhisht, the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if a devotee can know the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why can't the brother know the mind of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Balram, right? So Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu knows Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in and out, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also knows Nityananda Prabhu in and out. So without uttering a single word, they can communicate. They can communicate. And this is actually a method of spiritual communication also. When great devotees, they make decisions or, so they really communicate with the parampara, with their gurus, even if they're not physically present, because they are in sync with with the predecessor acharyas, with his guru, with the Lord himself. So that's why this is the reason how devotees they can speak to the Lord, they can speak to the parampara, they can get the direction from parampara because they are very much in sync, in synchronization with each other. So Nityanand Prabhu must be knowing something from the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus he broke it. But Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that how am I supposed to know this? What he knows or what he doesn't know. So to teach devotional service, the one absolute truth has appeared in two forms. We can understand Gaurachandra simply by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. That's why Vrindavan is the greatest. By the way, I reside in Vrindavan. So this Nityanand Charitamrita Katha is happening from Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is the greatest. But we realize the glories of Vrindavan through Mayapur, through Navadvip. Radha Krishna, they are the greatest. They are our upasya. They are our worshipable deities, the Ishtadev. But we realize that by worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the associates. That's why going through the Mayapur Dham, the Navadvip Dham, going via Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, the way become very easy for us, especially we, the people of Kali Yuga. Otherwise, there is no chance. Who else is more powerful than Nityanand Prabhu who can break the danda of Sri Gauranga? Sri Gaurasundar explains all these things in some way or the other. Anyone who understands this pastime in truth is easily delivered. Because this pastime is not to be understood very easily. So when Jagadananda came back and when he saw like the danda broken, now Jagadananda of course was in worry, right? Because he was given the authority by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you keep hold of my danda. Now he was struck with wonder and he became worried. आज तो नौकरी गई. Now I will become jobless. Mahaprabhu will reject me. Uh, and he asked Nityanand Prabhu that who broke the danda. uh, so Nityanand Prabhu replied, very funny reply, that he who accepted the danda, the Lord himself broke his danda. Who else can break the danda? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's danda was it, and it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself who broke the danda. I don't know. So be very careful in placing anything in hands of Nityanand Prabhu. you know, because he may break anything and he may not take the responsibility like a kid. But anyhow, we can place ourselves in the hands of Nityananda Prabhu. But we should assure Nityananda Prabhu that I'm placing myself in your hands so that I can worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, he may mess us up. So hearing this reply, Jagadananda said nothing more. You know, what could he say, Jagadananda? He can't scream over Nityanand Prabhu, right? So in this way, he picked up the broken pieces of danda, Jagadananda, and left at once. He went ahead where Sri Gaurasundar was sitting and placed the broken pieces in front of him. Then the Lord asked, how did the danda break? You must have quarreled with someone on the way. Then Jagadanand Pandit narrated everything, the whole incident to Mahaprabhu, and that how Nityanand broke the danda. Then Mahaprabhu was asking Nityananda, that tell me, why did you break my danda? Nityananda Prabhu replied, I broke that bamboo stick. If you can't forgive me, then punish me as you like. Lord said, all the demigods are present within this danda, and you call it a bamboo stick? Are you mad? Who can understand the pastimes of Gaur Sundara? So if one understands them in a particular way, still they come out different. So anyone who claims he knows the heart of the Lord is certainly a fool. If the Lord wants to kill someone, he apparently shows warm affection for him. So in this way, the pastime happened, and the Lord further said, this danda was the only possession I had left with me. But today, by the will of Krishna, that also has been broken. I think I'll travel on alone. So either you all go first, or else I will go first. So while moving towards Neelachala, so now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is expressing that okay, now because Krishna wants that I be alone, so I won't go with all of you. No, either you go all first together, or let me proceed ahead further. Alone, but alone. So Mukunda, one more devotee, he said, Prabhu, apni, apni. Oh Lord, you go first. So Mahaprabhu, hearing that, so he moved, doing kirtan, dancing in jubilation, and then he reached a certain place, a temple of Lord Shiva, where all the people there, devotees there, they saw Lord Shiva in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they all became very happy and jubilant. And in this way, they all started doing kirtan, chanting the names of the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was dancing. Dule Dule Gaura Chandra, Hari Gunagai, as they say. And meanwhile, the associates, the Parshads also came in, and they also joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the whole troop in the Sankirtan, and they also started chanting and dancing. So I was noticing in these pastimes that although Lord Chaitanya wanted to be alone, he wanted to be alone, but whenever there was a Sankirtan happening, and there were like in numerous devotees around, he wouldn't mind it. And after the Sankirtan would end up, he would say, okay, again, I want to be alone. So such is so the acharyas, and he's the Lord himself. We can't easily assimilate their nature in them. So yeah, we shouldn't question that how. I mean, see, like nowadays, if someone says to us that Prabhu, I want to be alone, please go from here. Mataji, I want to be alone, please go from here. What we will do? We'll leave that place and we may not come to him or her again, right? That will be our response to that devotee. We will be thinking, okay, let that devotee be alone because he wants to be alone. But the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were also so rigid. They were not leaving Mahaprabhu even after Mahaprabhu wanted to be alone because they knew that whenever Sankirtan would happen, because Mahaprabhu came to do Sankirtan, and Sankirtan can't happen without the Sangha, without the association of devotees. So that's why they were also rigid. They didn't feel bad. It wasn't like an ego game which we play, the Kalyug people. That I'm hurt. He doesn't want me with him. I'm hurt. They were also rigid. No ego game, no attitude game. They all were very simple-hearted. They'd simply follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wherever he went. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would also become irritated sometimes outwardly. That why are you following me? Let me be alone. And still they would follow, accompany him at certain places, especially in Sankirtans. And then in this way, the pastimes would take place until and unless they reached Neelachala, Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Puri. So in this way, mm, Lord Gaurachandra told everyone to be extremely careful with Nityananda. This is important. Nityananda is more dear than my very life. Mahaprabhu says, I boldly declare this. The love and devotion of anyone who commits offenses at the lotus feet of Nityananda will certainly be checked. There is no fault of mine in this regard. Anyone who maintains the slightest envy towards Nityananda, even if he's a devotee, he's not dear to me. So this is the statement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for Nityanand Prabhu, that Nityanand Prabhu is dear to Gauranga than his own life. And if someone commits offense towards him, then he won't accept him. It's similar to if someone commits offense unto Gauranga Mahaprabhu, so it's very difficult for Nityanand Prabhu to accept such a person, and vice versa. Actually, if we see if someone commits offense at Nityanand Prabhu, like Jagai Madhai, so it was very difficult for Gauranga Mahaprabhu to accept them. But if someone commits offense at Gauranga Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, then Nityanand Prabhu doesn't really become angry. He rather becomes more merciful. For example, when the king Pratap Rudra wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in person, Mahaprabhu refused. He refused. I do not want to. And and then all the devotees, including Nityanand Prabhu, uh, requested. They would suggest, okay, you do this, you do that. Requested the Lord directly. So Nityanand Prabhu is such. Nityanand Prabhu is such that Mahaprabhu may be angry with someone, but if he takes shelter of Nityanand Prabhu, then Nityanand Prabhu takes the responsibility of introducing and of letting that devotee uh, come within the jurisdiction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So, so we should all take shelter of Nityanand Prabhu, uh, and even if we like commit offenses, first of all, Nityanand Prabhu doesn't take any offense. No, he doesn't. And we see that in Jagai Madhai's pastime. So even though Mahaprabhu is saying that if someone does any offense uh, towards Nityananda Prabhu, but Nityananda Prabhu doesn't take any offense, he rather prays for that jiva. Okay, now one more thing. One more thing. If let's say I see one Prabhuji named here Amit Prabhu. So let's say if I offend you, I say bad words to you, I beat you. Um, one of your response would be you become angry and tit for tat. Okay, that's a normal thing. If you're spiritually inclined, if you are into spirituality, then second thing could be you may remain humble and you may simply let it go. Now the third response could be that you are being humble, you're letting it go, like kind of forgiving me within the heart, and you're praying for me within the heart that okay, may this Prabhu become, more sensible, may he develop love of God, develop the qualities of, maturities within him. So now this response is a very passive response. But Nityanand Prabhu's response was not just passive response, it was a very active response in the way that he wouldn't just, pray mentally for the offender. Like Jagai Madhai, Nityanand Prabhu was hit by one of them. And Nityanand Prabhu was not like passively mentally thinking, okay, may they develop love of Krishna, may they develop. No, no. He was still very actively indulging, praying to them to chant Gauranga, Gauranga, Lord Hari's name. So this is the topmost Trinadapi Sunichena principle which Nityanand Prabhu executed, exemplified, he demonstrated to us. That even if we are hit, we are hurt by anyone, we still keep positive, let it go, do not take that offense. Rather, we still try to benefit the person. We still try to benefit the person. So we should all take shelter of Nityanand Prabhu. And how do we take shelter of Nityanand Prabhu? By Sankirtana. By Sankirtana. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish Sankirtan Dharma. So if we take part in Sankirtan Dharma, then Nityanand Prabhu accepts us. Very simple. It's nothing like sometimes people ask, Prabhu, how to join ISKCON? Is there any form, any fees? And we simply say what? No, you chant Hare Krishna and you become a ISKCON devotee. Right? That's the simple thing. So yeah, so no form, no fees. Some people they say, "Oh, Prabhu, I paid this and this amount. I'm a life member of ISKCON," and he may not be a practicing devotee. So, but he thinks he's a part of ISKCON. So I'm a bit worried for them, like such people, because they think they are part of ISKCON, but they are not actually part of ISKCON because they are not practicing actively, right? There are many people like that who are just connected by that thing of giving something and considering themselves as ISKCON devotees being the life members. So, so we should all take shelter of Nityanand Prabhu, um, his lotus feet, and his lotus feet are Nitai Padakamala, Koti Chandra, Sushitala, Je Chaya Jagat Jurai. Okay, let's sing this. We'll sing a verse or two, and then we'll continue a bit more. Kind of like a mix-up. Nitai Padakamala, Koti Chandra Sushitala, Je Chaya Jagat Jurai. You can all try singing. You can stay muted and sing. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitala Je Chai Jagat Jura He no Nitai Bine Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nai He no Nitai Bine Bhai রাধা কৃষ্ণ পাইতে নাই দৃঢ় করি ধরো নিতাইর পায় Dridha kori dharo nitayar paan. So the first verse of this bhajan says, Nitai Padakamala Koti Chandra Sushitala, that the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu, they are like Koti Chandra Sushitala. They are be cooling like thousands of moons, you know. And Je Chhaya Jagat Juraye. And the world should take shelter uh, under that shade of Nityanand Prabhu's lotus feet. And Heno Nitai Vinay Bhai Radha Krishna Paite Nayo. And one can't achieve Radha Krishna, one can't attain them without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, without the help of Nitai. Dridha Kori Dharo Nitai Rupaya. And that's why we should very firmly hold upon the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. I realized something today which I didn't realize since 17, 18 years. So when I was in Gurukul, I studied there for 7 years. So in Gurukul, we would celebrate like two events, uh, like very great level, big level in a year. One was Janmashtami, of course, very big celebrations. And another was Nityananda Rochi. Now, at that time, I was also new. So Janmashtami celebrations, I could understand that, okay, Janmashtami is a big thing in ISKCON, in Bhakti. But I would always think that why are they focusing so much on Nityananda Trayodashi and why the celebrations are so high on Nityananda Trayodashi, even higher than Gaura Purnima. And today I actually realized that for us, Nityananda Prabhu is actually the ultimate abode of shelter because he has got no conditions for us to be followed, and we can simply take shelter of him. And even if we are like offensive or anything, he doesn't mind anything, any offense, no. And he's rather more merciful towards such offensive personalities. So it felt very nice to me that how the seniors in the school, they were actually uh, celebrating and letting us celebrate Nityanand Prabhu's. Maybe because of those celebrations, I'm here. Uh, yeah, so it works. It works. Okay, the second. से संबंध नाही जार वृथा जन्म गेलो तार बोलून से संबंध नाही जार वृथा जन्म गेलो तार সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার সেই পশু বড় দুরাচার নিতাই না বলিল মুখে মাজিল সংসার সুখে নিতাই না মুখে विद्याकुले की कोरिवे तार विद्याकुले की कोरिवे तार So say संबंध नाही जार वृथा जन्म गेलो तार. Very simple Bengali. One who has got no relation with Nityanand Prabhu in his birth, in his lifetime, then his life is britha, is tuchya, has gone in waste, vain. Say Pashu, Bado Durachar, and he's an animal, and he's Durachari, immoral. Nitai na bolilo mukhe, and one who doesn't utter Nitai, Majilo Sansar Sukhe, then he will end up indulging in sensual objects in this sansar, the material world. And Vidya Kuleki Korivetar, and even if one is born in with a great intellect, Vidya Kula. What help can that intellect render to him if he's not even uttering Nitai, even in this lifetime? Ahankare mat hoya Nitai pad pasariya. असत्य रे सत्य कोरी मानी नितायर करुणा हवे ब्रजे राधा कृष्ण पावे धरो निताई चरण दुखानी. So, being maddened after false prestige and identification with the body, one is thinking, oh, what is Nityananda? What can he do for me? I don't care. The result is that he's accepting something false to be truth. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. When he's merciful toward you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. The last verse here. Nitair charan satya ताहार सेवक नित्य नितायर चरण सत्य ताहार सेवक नित्य निताई पद सदा करो आशा नरोत्तम बड़ो दुखी निताय मोरे करो सुखी राखो रंगा चरणेर पाश. So the lotus feet of Nityananda are not illusion, they are a fact, Satya. One who engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda is also transcendental. Always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. This Narottam Das is very unhappy. Therefore, I'm praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. My dear Lord, please keep me close to your lotus feet. See, Narottam Das Thakur's misery, unhappiness is worth because the bliss the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shared, they explored, while in association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. That bliss, that supreme bliss, one can't get without them. So his sadliness is actually worth. Narottam Das Thakur says he's unhappy. Now a materialist can say, oh, we are also unhappy. He's also unhappy. What is the difference? But we know the difference, right? Is there a difference or not in unhappiness between his unhappiness and the materialist's unhappiness? There is a great difference. The normal people, they become sad regards to their normal things, material objects, things. But Narottam Das Thakur is sad because he was not able to get the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu. And he's more sad because he just appeared maybe few decades or years after their descent. Like we appeared after, let's say, around 500 years of Mahaprabhu's advent. Just imagine someone, like I have met many senior devotees in ISKCON who came in ISKCON in around like in early 1980s or just after Srila Prabhupada's departure, like say 1978, 79. And they share a great sadness, stating the same point that if it was like few years back, we would have taken darshan of Prabhupada, we would have his association, direct association, or we would have been initiated by him also. So we can relate. We can relate that how Narottam Das Thakur also felt some similar feelings. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, it says in हिंदी, बस थोड़े सालों से रह गए. He just left out with few years, by few years. So we should actually take note of this, and we should try to make do sankalpas, some few sankalpas for Nityanand Prabhu's pleasure of how so that he can be pleased. Something like we can pray to him tomorrow intensely that may we be part of his Sankirtan movement here as well as in the Golok Vrindavan, the eternal Dham in Navadvip Mayapur. Like, I shouldn't say this personally. I mean, okay, let me ask you a question, which I generally ask. If given an option to all of you, let me take a poll here. If given an option to all of you that, okay, you have two options. One, that you can enter into the direct pastimes of Radha Krishna, let's say Ras Leela or Gocharan. Second, you have the access to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan Leela. What will you choose? Okay. You can chat, put it in chat, or if you want to speak, you can also speak. Who wants to go for Radha Krishna Leela? You can say one. Okay, we have Mahaprabhu's Bhaktas here. Okay, only two, three devotees say something. Okay, for me, it's the second point. Like, because I think I'll get double the bliss in Sankirtan movement. While we do Sankirtan with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Because in Radha Krishna's pastimes, there will be a bit of compromise. How? I'll explain. See, either if we become a Sakha of Krishna, then we'll go with Krishna to do the cow herding, right? Into the forests. So we'll miss the association of Radharani there. Now, if we are into Madhurya Rasa, then will the miss the association of Sakhas, Lord Balram for sure. But in Sankirtan Leela, we'll get each and everyone's association. So, so for me, it's for sure the second part, the second thing. And maybe those who are sleeping may end up in Vaikuntha. Who didn't respond? You want to say something, Amit Prabhu? You can unmute and say.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just a small question, Prabhuji. First, please accept humble obeisance, Prabhuji. Wonderful session. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Privileged to be a part of today's session. Prabhuji, what happened to the danda which was broken? Did Mahaprabhu get a new one, or he left the danda thereafter?
Yeah, he left thereafter. No danda. Yeah, because Mahaprabhu doesn't give any danda to anyone. Danda also means chastisement. So that could be also one of the reason that no danda. So no danda thereafter.
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. So that's not the end. Please, we'll read one or two more pastimes, and we'll end with Nityanand Prabhu's disappearance, which is a very short pastime. So Nityanand Prabhu's pastimes are very good. So I don't know if you all have this PDF or not. Do you have this PDF of Nityananda Charitamrita? No. So we'll share this PDF. I'll let the admin share the PDF with all of you. So you can all by yourself, take a read tomorrow, today, any day. And very good pastimes, because not all the things can be exposed or can be, mentioned in the talk. So you can all take benefit of this. So yeah, we'll share today in the group. Okay, this is interesting. Now, so the Lord started from there, and he was moving towards Neelachala. So he came to Jagannath Puri. So he reached first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and rest of the devotees they were behind. So Mahaprabhu he entered the temple premises, and when he saw Lord Jagannath, so he was so ecstatic seeing Jagannath. Jai Gaur, Sai Krishna, Sai Jagannath. It was like seeing mirror for him. Because Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are the one and the same. But I was talking with my wife few days ago, and we had a real nice discussion on this. That see, from the Tattva point of view, there is no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. That we are all aware of. They are both Lord Krishna. Now, from the Rasa point of view, also, there is no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. I'll tell how. Shri Krishna, when he heard in Dwarka from Mother Rohini, right? From Mother Rohini about the Vrindavan pastimes, and then he was overwhelmed with the Vraj Bhav, with the Vraj Bhakti, and that Vraj Bhakti, which he was overwhelmed by, turned Krishna into Jagannath. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is always overwhelmed with Vraj Bhav, especially with the Bhav of Radharani, but Vraj Bhav in general. So in this way, from the Rasa point of view also, there is no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath. They are both, and we were also discussing that there have been many Rasic devotees, devotees who relish different mellows, rasas towards the Lord. But there is no superior Rasic than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Or there is no superior Rasik than Jagannath or Krishna himself. Because he himself relishes his own pastimes and the pastimes of his devotees. So he's the greatest Rasik. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the greatest Rasik, Lord Jagannath. Jagannath. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw himself, being like Radharani, the mood of Radharani when he saw Krishna, because whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take darshan of Jagannath, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always uh, get in the mood of Shrimati Radharani, who would who wanted to bring Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vraj, in that bhav. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would always get into the bhav of Radharani whenever, especially, he got in front of Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. So now when he is always in the mood of separation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when he's now seeing Jagannath, so he's seeing his Priyatam, his beloved in front, and now without any consideration, he ran towards Jagannath to embrace his beloved. And as he's moving ahead, running like a madman, suddenly switch off. Like a machine, the battery down, and that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also suddenly uh, he fell down and he became unconscious. And when he became unconscious, so Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was there nearby, and he saw that this person fainted and everything, and he saw that he looks like a special person, a great personality. So he asked um, the few of his persons there that please help me lift him to my house. And then it says all the guards and servants assisting in the ceremony of Pandu Vijaya. I think Pandu Vijaya is the ceremony when Lord Jagannath and the deities they are taken to the chariot, by those people, those pandas who carry the Lord. So, so I was also, thinking on this that these pujaris, these guards. So one time is the Jagannath Rath Yatra period, when they carry Lord Jagannath. And this is the second time in the year that they are carrying the Jagannath, same Jagannath, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, uh, towards Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. And Vrindavan Das Thakur writes, it appeared as if ants were carrying a particle of grain. It appeared as if ants were carrying a particle of grain. We all have seen ants carrying particle of grain, because when ants, so many of ants carrying some object, so they move here and there, left, right, scattered. So it's very nice to see ants putting that effort. It's the same in Jagannath Rath Yatra also. When the Arohan thing happens, when the Lord gets into the cart, all the pandas are left, right, down, up. So similarly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being carried, it's a very nice, beautiful picture here, rolling down, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being carried like that. And everyone, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's figure is huge, um, vibrant, um, all glamour, lightening up. So, looking very beautiful. And all of the people, the other darshanarthis, now instead of taking darshan of Jagannath, they are taking darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being carried. So that's also one of the pastimes, right, of Mahaprabhu. So they came for darshans, but Lord Jagannath is giving them an opportunity to take darshans of the pastimes directly. So the darshanarthis must be very, very bhagyashali, very fortunate. Direct Lila darshan of the Lord. We can say Murcha Lila, the Murcha Lila. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya's house, and then gradually all the other devotees, they came at the same time. And when they saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being, taken, so they didn't enter into the temple because their Lord is being taken. So from the dwar only, from the door, they folded their hands and went to Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya's house. And it is mentioned here that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was fainted for 9 hours. He was unconscious for 9 hours. 9 hours. Just see what state that was. Uh, that just seeing Krishna, Chaitanya, Jagannath ji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood would have been so deep that for 9 hours he remained unconscious. I mean, we would declare such a person dead if happened now. So meanwhile, when Mahaprabhu was unconscious, so the devotees also took advantage of the time. They took their bath. They went. Sarvam Bhattacharya arranged a guide, you know, and this is very interesting. The guide requested the devotees with folded hands. What was the request? Please pay attention. Please remain peaceful while seeing Jagannath. Don't act like the previous Gosai mentioning about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I do not understand what kind of people you are. If you promise to remain peaceful, then only will I take you to Jagannath. What can I say? The way he fell on the ground, no man could survive. So I request all of you to please see Jagannath with utmost care and restraint. So the guide also was quite fearful, and he had a condition that all of them remained very peaceful while taking darshans. But the devotees, especially Nityananda Prabhu, they are Swachhanda. So let's see what they do. So hearing his devotees, his words, all the devotees began to laugh, saying, "Do not worry, do not worry." And they left to see Jagannath. They entered the temple, saw Jagannath, the origin of the first quadruple expansion, happily manifested in the midst of his devotees. Seeing Lord Jagannath, all the devotees began to cry. They offered obeisances to him, circumambulated him, and prayed to him. Now, the most sober Nityananda, enraptured in love for Gauranga, became terribly agitated on seeing Lord Jagannath. So he was unable to remain steady. As soon as he saw Jagannath, he wanted to embrace him. First of all, Mahaprabhu wanted to embrace Jagannath. Now, Nityanand Prabhu wants to embrace Jagannath. So the guards could not check him. Suddenly, climbing onto the golden throne of Jagannath, Nityananda embraced the deity of Balaram. As he climbed on the throne, the guards tried to stop him, catching a hold of his hand. Nityananda simply pushed them away. So I was thinking sometimes we also do this, no? While when we are in the temples with a great rush or in Jagannath Rath Yatra, we also kind of push. So I'm a person who become, like irritated when someone pushes me. But I think this is also like an authentic thing of pushing, if done with like great devotion. Uh, so Nityanand Prabhu also pushed the guards. He didn't think, oh, these guards are the direct servants of the Lord. Let me be respectful. He didn't have that thought. He simply pushed the guards because he's Swachanda. Nityananda took the garland of Lord Balaram and put it on himself. And the priests took garlands from Lord Jagannath and happily offered them to the devotees. So in this way, all the temple guards began to think, this mendicant is not an ordinary man. How can anyone survive after touching Balram? We control even mad elephants, what to speak of ordinary men? We tried to firmly catch hold of him, but instead he scattered us like straws. Considering this, the temple guards always showed respect to Nityananda whenever they saw him. So it was a swag of Nityananda Prabhu thereafter. They say swag of Nityanand Prabhu. Whenever he entered the temple thereafter, so all the security guards, the security department, they were very humble in front of Nityanand Prabhu. They never messed up with Nityanand Prabhu. So in his childish way, Nityanand Swarup often embraced the Lord with loving affection. So now it became like a daily affair for Nityanand Prabhu to climb on the altar and embrace the Lord, the deities. So, and no one dared to check him because they were all afraid. Nityanand Prabhu was like a gunda. There, everyone was afraid of. So gradually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gained consciousness, and then he took a sankalpa. I vow that from today I will see Jagannath from a distance. I will never enter inside the temple room. Rather, I will see Jagannath while standing beside Garuda Stamba column. By good fortune, I did not embrace Jagannath. Had I done this, it would have been a serious predicament. So in this way, that day he took that vow of not entering the temple, rather taking darshans from Garuda Stamba, which is a very famous story which all of us know. So that was the point where Mahaprabhu took that vow. And then he said to Nityananda also, Nityananda, you will control me all the time. I surrender unto you. So Mahaprabhu saying to Nityananda Prabhu that now you will be my controller and I'm surrendering unto you. So in this way, he became normal. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he regained his consciousness, he bathed, he sat with the devotees, and he took prasadam offered by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Okay, there are a few other stories which I'm not going to read or discuss. We'll simply see the disappearance of Nityanand Prabhu, and then you can take a read by yourselves afterward. So this is the last chapter here of Nityananda Charitamrita by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So entitled The Birth of Veera Chandra Prabhu, the son of Nityananda Prabhu uh, from Vasudha. So two wives were there. One was Janava Mata. We all know Janava Mata. Her samadhi is also in Radha Kund. And second is Vasudha Mata. So Veera Chandra Prabhu was born from Vasudha. And the child's name is Veera Chandra. It is mentioned by Vrindavan Das Thakur that it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who came in the form of Veer Chandra Prabhu. So they are the same, it is mentioned. And then one day, Nityanand Prabhu entered his temple room and disappeared. Again, he solaced himself and came out of the DT room. So one day, what happened? Nityanand Prabhu, he entered the temple room of his house, the DTs, and he, disappeared there. But again, he like kind of appeared there and came out. Then he took Vasudha and Janava and left this place called Khaddah. From there, he went to Ekachakra. We all know Ekachakra Gram. And so Lord Bankarai there. So after staying there for a few days, Lord Nityananda entered the temple of Bankarai and disappeared. So this is how Lord Nityananda disappeared in Ekachakra Dham, and that's why Ekachakra Dham is very prominent amongst the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And there is a very beautiful temple there, the hub of for Nityanand Prabhu. So in this way, he disappeared, and all the devotees, the two wives, everyone, they were lamenting like anything because Nityanand Prabhu was a person, who would speak to everyone, who was very personal with all the devotees, had a very intimate relation with all the devotees. So it's not just like an impersonal relationship with Nityanand Prabhu. All the devotees had a very personal relationship with Nityanand Prabhu. So all of them were in very grief, uh, sorrow by separation from the Lord, and they were all crying, yeah, crying. So Jaya Nityanand, please, you can all recite after me. Uh, these are few verses in glorification of Nityanand Prabhu, and then we'll end here. जय नित्यानंद चैतन्य प्रियतमा
Jai Nityananda Chaitanya Priyatama
त्रिजगते आर के हो नाही तुम समा.
Trijagate Arakeha Nahi Toma Sama.
So Nityanand Prabhu is dearmost devotee or dearmost to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there is no one equal to him in all the three worlds. Ananda Kanda Mahaprabhu Prema Bhakti Data.
Ananda Kanda Mahaprabhu Prema Bhakti Data
जे सब जैसे बाय से भक्ति पाए ते सर्वथा.
Jesha Visheshe Bhakti Paeta Sarvatha.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the deliverer of Prema Bhakti to all, and Jes Sevaye Shai Bhakti Paye To Sarvatha. And by serving him, one can attain bhakti. Sevaye means worship, seva. Sarva Jivera Prabhu Korila Prasada.
Sarvajivela Prabhu Karila Prasada
Kshemila Sakala Maha Maha Aparadha.
Shemila Sakala Mahaparadha.
So, such a Lord, Korilo Prasad, he bestows, bliss, auspiciousness, blessings upon everyone, all the living entities. And Kshemila Sakala Maha Maha Aparad, and he even forgives the greatest of great offenses which we can actually render. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Nityananda Nama
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Nityananda Nama
Prithvira Bhagya Avatari Anupama.
Prithvira Bhagya Avitari Anupama.
So it is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself who has appeared in the name of Nityananda, and it is the great fortune of earth that the Lord has taken uh, this form of Nityananda, and taken that, appeared. Hmm. Okay, I'll read by myself. जय जय नित्यानंद प्रेममय धाम स्वभावे परम शुद्ध नित्यानंद नाम जगत तारण हेतु जार अवतार जे जो न भजे সেই পাপের आकर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद एक देह इहाते निश्चय करी करो एक लेह परानंदमय दुहु मोरति रसल निताई चैतन्य प्रभु श्री राम गोपाल इहाते करो ये भिन्न अति बुद्धिहीन आर न देखिए तार विष्णु भक्ति चिन्ह. All glories to Lord Nityananda, the abode of love of God. The holy name of Nityananda is naturally supremely pure. To save the entire universe, he descended to this world. Those not worshipping him are surely piles of sin. Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda are one. Firmly believe this and take shelter of them. Both the lords are full of transcendental bliss and devotional mallows. Lord Nityananda and Lord Gauranga are Lord Balaram and Krishna. Those who reject this are certainly wretched fools. There is no hope for such fools to achieve devotional service to Krishna. And in this way, we conclude the session today. So again, we would request you to take a read. We'll be sharing this PDF soon. You'll get it in a few minutes in the group. Very nice by Vrindavan Das Thakur, authentic book. And we can all pray to Nityananda Prabhu uh, that we develop that desire, great intense desire of entering into the Sankirtan Lila, which is the most blissful uh, engagement for a living entity in the whole of the universe, whether it's a spiritual universe or material universe. Um, and we can get some energy and some qualification to serve in this Sankirtan movement of Srila Prabhupada. So, because Prabhupada was, is, and will be the greatest soldiers of Nityanand Prabhu's army. See, Nityanand Prabhu and Hardas Thakur, they teamed up, you know, they clubbed together and they were preaching in the region. When they saw Jagai Madhai, so they specifically wanted to preach to them, even after knowing that they are not like good persons, they are bad persons. So both of them, they wanted to make sure that Jagai and Madhai, they become devotees. Why? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would become more happy. So imagine Nityanand Prabhu and Hardas Thakur preaching to two of them and Mahaprabhu becoming happy, and Prabhupada made so many of Jagai Madhai into devotees. Uh, so how much happy Mahaprabhu would be, and Nityanand Prabhu would be, and Hardas Thakur would be. So our only aim should be to get mercy of Nityanand Prabhu and help Srila Prabhupada in his mission. Yeah, so that should be our prayer. Okay, we'll stop here. So if you have anything to add, I don't think there are any questions. So anything you want to say on Nityanand Prabhu, you can. Or you want to ask something? Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just it's a not a question rather, Prabhuji. It's a curiosity which I'm confident that you will address. Keeping in mind that it's a childish question that I'm asking, childish curiosity that I'm expressing before you. All these great saints, Prabhuji in our parampara, starting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu till Srila Prabhupada, till Maharajis, till you, Prabhuji, included in that. You all have this innate nature, as you pointed out, that everyone has its own nature. You have this nature to understand, like you said that you were discussing with Mataji about the pastimes as to how this could be interpreted. For someone like us, someone like me, is deeply engrossed with materialistic world. As Srila Prabhupada says that contamination happens because we go back to material world. How do we inculcate these qualities wherein we have that kind of mindset or that kind of heart or that kind of feelings, so that not all the time, or maybe at all the times, we try and cherish the mellow. We stay that kind of humility and all those qualities which our saints have suggested. What's the though I know, Prabhuji, what would be your answer, but just still out of curiosity, wanted to hear from you. Hare Krishna.
So if you know, then yeah, you know it.
Still, Prabhu, you're not serious on a genuine note.
Yeah, so I think the question in a nutshell is how, like, to develop that surrounding, that environment, maybe.
Yes, Prabhuji, because all, as we discussed, Jagai Madhai example that we took, they though were worldly individuals, but they came in contact, and then therefore thereafter they transformed. When we think about others like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, they were incarnations, so they had all those qualities. Other Shad Goswamis, they also were some or the other incarnation. They have those qualities. But when we think about others, somehow we relate them. They are incarnation, therefore they had qualities. But some for normal individuals, normal fallen souls like us, how do we incorporate those qualities that uh, we have this uninterrupted supply, uninterrupted reservoir flowing, so that we enjoy the mellow. We are always in that mood that we are reading, we are relishing, we are enjoying. How do we do that, Prabhuji? How do we bring that? It happens for a short time, but then, as I said, Prabhuji, as Sri Prabhupada says, we go back to the material and contamination happens. So how do we?
So actually, the stage of Brahma Bhuta in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, right? The Brahma Bhuta Avastha. So when we practice spirituality for quite a long period of time, yeah, seriously, and yeah, with utmost devotion and surrender. So we actually start developing the nature of the Lord within us. We start developing the nature of the Lord within us. Doesn't mean that we become the Lord. No. And Krishna also says in Gita that you become me. You will become me. He says such words in Gita. That we start developing the nature of the Lord within us. And actually, it's kind of revival. Because the nature of Krishna is the nature of the Jiva. Being Satchidananda, being free from any kind of anarthas and everything. That's the same nature we share because we come from the same root. It's only covered up, so we kind of revive the very same nature. Or in simple words, we develop or cultivate the nature of the Lord. We become like Lord, nature-wise. And that's why the great devotees, uh, like even in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu also, Rupa Goswami mentions that out of 64 qualities of the Lord, the jivas, when they become fully pure, they exhibit some 48 something, if I'm not wrong, some 48, some full, qualities. Of course, partially they, represent them, but they do. So in this way, practicing devotion brings us to that point where we start developing the nature of the Lord within us. And it actually happens and it actually works. It works. We start becoming indifferent. We start realizing the difference between matter and spirit. I'll like tell you one instance with me. It was like 7, 8 years back. I was in room, like it was like the morning Mangalarti time. I woke up from sleep, and I was like that was a bunk bed, so I was on the first floor, the upper bed, and I woke up and I sat down, and I don't know what happened. Suddenly, I was like looking around the room, And I noticed that I am confined. I am meaning me, the soul, the spirit soul, and I'm confined by dead matter all around. Oh, and I became a little worried also, little tensed because this is not me, and I'm confined within something which is not my nature, which is not of my nature. Even the body is fully dead matter, and the things, the room, everything around us is made up of dead matter. It's composed of the dead matter. So that realization was only for, let's say, 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. And just imagine we getting to a place, a situation where that realization stays forever, like a sthai bhav. And that sounds only like that's not the highest pinnacle of realization, but that is also something, the Brahma Bhuta Avastha, where we get to differentiate. And when we realize and we actually envision it. So that day I could realize that we are all confined by what is not of our nature, and that is the dead matter. So we gradually develop the nature of the Lord, and then we also relish profusely, continuously the sthai bhav. So I hope, and it happens by sadhana, a continuous sadhana, sadhanishta. So practice with continuity. So what we struggle at is continuity. I think that is for me. I'm speaking of me. We know what to do, what not to do. We struggle at the continent, the part of the continuation part. We're not able to make it every day, every time, every this and every now. So sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So personally, I'm struggling with continuity, frankly speaking. Anyhow, we're trying hard. Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else? Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So a very happy Nityananda Triyodashi to all of you in advance. And may you also roll down on the floor tomorrow in Kirtan, in ecstasy. and may no devotee kick you. Prabhu, do not exhibit bhava emotionally. And so, yeah, may you have a wonderful Nityananda Triyodashi. Like our Madhav Charan Prabhuji, they are celebrating Nityananda Triyodashi,
Yeah.
11th Brahmotsav of Radha Govind Dev Temple, my home.
If possible, please you also come and join us tomorrow. You are not
I'm,
too far
I'm there.
physically.
I'm there.
In my heart. Okay, so thank you so much, Paramsundar Prabhu. And it was really wonderful class. Or जिस तरह से you were replying to Amit Prabhu questions answer, I was listening so carefully. ध्यान से. You are expert in answering questions. So I hope all devotees has enjoyed this session of 3 days Nityanand Katha. And I just want Paramsundar Prabhu is the one of the lead and course coordinator of Rupanuga Vidyapit. And he's handling knowledge part. So he's keen and he's enthusiastic to conduct more and more session on this, like that. So Prabhuji will have conduct next session on Gopi Geet. He himself, he will took, Acharya from the Gopi Geet. So I request all of you to join that session also. In near future, we have so many free courses from, Paramsundar Prabhu की कृपा से, है ना? ये बहुत सारे बांट रहे हैं. So now ईशो उपनिषद होने वाला है, then नवद्वीप मंडल परिक्रमा, then Gopi Geet. So we have so many courses from the Rupanuga Vidyapit banner. I request all the students, please take the benefits of this, and you can invite your students, your parents and your friends and families. So that will be great help for them also. And thank you so much, Paramsundar Prabhu, putting all the efforts, being a teacher, being a friend, being a course coordinator. You are doing so much service for Srila Prabhupada. Happy with you.
Yeah.
So thank you, dear devotees. Wishing you all the best. Have wonderful Nityananda Triyodasi. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai, Jai.
Nityananda Prabhu ki. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Bandhu Gayatri Mataji, you are host. Can I request you to close the meeting?
Yes, Prabhuji, sure.
Thank you.